Hi, Belle.
Hi there.
Thanks for joining.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
So nice to see you.
Good to see you too. This is my first vlog, so I'm like,
So you're in your studio, which is your crystal cave,
yeah, my crystals.
surrounded by your crystals.
Yeah, there's 4 walls of crystals in this room that put you
Beautiful.
around, and then
Beautiful.
it carries on all the way out the other side.
Lovely. And I've been in there and it feels amazing in there.
Oh, it's lovely. This is my cave, my she cave.
She cave. So we met at Glastonbury,
Yeah, we did.
2014,
Yeah, that was the
and we met on the shamanic drum stall.
yeah. That year I went because I crew for Shelter, so I was going working in the bars, and I only went Glastonbury that year just to see my favourite band. And then it's like finding something to do, and then what do? You just go to can I make something? So we spent 3 days making shamanic drums,
Yeah, we did.
and we met on the last day,
Yeah.
and I
And
think that
it's interesting that we were stood next to each other for 3 days doing this like really intense process of making a shamanic drum, like dealing with the goat skin and finishing the wooden frame. And it was only on the last day that we actually had a conversation.
and we were painting we were painting the drums.
Decorating them with henna.
Yeah. And I remember your design. It was the triple goddess.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did this. I did a spiral, and then I think that's when our friendship began.
Yeah.
And every year at Glastonbury, when I went after, it was like, is Claire going to be there? Am I going to see
Yeah,
her?
right. I have been to every Glastonbury since then.
I've missed one. I've
Yeah,
missed
last
one.
year was amazing weather. So at that event, we met. You introduced me to your friend Ian Young, who works in Thailand now.
Yep.
And you two used to be very involved in Yes Group London and running the Basket Brigade.
Yeah. Yeah. So in 2000, that year, I think it was 14. I was on the team on doing the purchasing for Basket Brigade. So in London, what we do at round about Christmas on the 23rd is we create hampers for people in need, and then we did deliver them anonymously. So it was a matter of raising money and buying all the goods in, and then in 2015 I chaired it, so I was running it. So we fed 1,000 families all around London. There's a
And then,
few basket brigades, around the UK now,
yeah,
which is great. And it's something that Tony Robbins created when he was in need and someone knocked on his door anonymously, gave him a package. And it was a Thanksgiving dinner. So that's what we do just before Christmas. We did the hamper. So that's still going. I'm played a part 2 years, and yeah, I did my bit. So it's my little bit of contribution.
so you coordinated that, feeding 1,000 people at Christmas, 1,000 families at Christmas
Yeah.
that year. Yeah, epic, epic.
Yeah, it had everything. Like, so you have like your chicken, your pudding, your crackers. It happens every year. So if you go to the basket, just Google the Basket Brigade London, you'll see everything that goes on. And at the
Amazing.
moment, Giles runs that.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
then you also introduced me to the Tony Robbins UPW event.
Yeah. So I first went to UPW in 2012, and then started crewing in 2014. Everything kicked off at 2014 for me, and then and I think you were seeing posts, and you were like, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this," and then that's when I said,
On your social media.
"Yeah," because I go back to crew, so I crew on the fire team, so we prep the lanes for the fire walk, and it's great to be amongst like-minded people.
Yeah.
And they're like fire team family.
Yes. Yeah. So through
And
you, I ended up getting a ticket to that event, and then we did crew together last
yeah,
summer, last spring.
Yeah. And I said to you, do not go on main crew, just come to fire team, join the fire team.
Yeah, that was the most, isn't it the most incredible experience? Like 12,000 people walking over fire within a couple of hours.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing experience, and just knowing that we prep the lanes, we get it all ready for people, and that's the best feeling.
Yeah.
And then, you know, being the rock in the river, standing still when all the chaos is happening, it's like, okay, you know, if I lose this, you know, if I get distracted, someone could get hurt. So
like someone could really get hurt.
Well,
like, it's 1,200 degrees, isn't it, the fire? 1,200 degrees.
One year when I crewed and I did a fire walk, it was the first year I crewed, I actually burnt my feet really badly. So the fire is hot. It's not like, you know, what people think it doesn't burn. It does burn. I had the hugest blisters under my feet. And with the, you know, the whole crewing experience where you're hyping and going crazy, I couldn't jump because my feet were so burnt and so sore. Yeah, so yeah, it is hot. And you know, when we scoop the coal into the barrels, it, you know, if you're not covered, you'll burn your face.
And also, if you do more than 3 scoopfuls, and we're talking like long-handed shovels here.
Yeah.
So all day we were part of building this massive fire. There were about 100 of us, tending the fire, putting wood on the fire, building the lanes. How many lanes are there?
I don't know. I can't remember. It changes every year, so there's probably about 20 something to 30 lanes. It depends on the size of the event.
Right.
The bigger the event, the more lanes we have, because then we can get them through quicker.
Yes. And then, like, one of the most frightening things I've done in my life, that's shoveling the hot coals into a wheelbarrow and barrowing that across the car park before the fireworks begins.
Or switching the wheelbarrows, you know, with the two wheelbarrows in front of each other. So when we're on wheelbarrow empties, we have to switch.
So much trust involved as a team.
Yeah, like that's the whole thing. Yeah,
it's like, I don't think I've ever done any teamwork which is so important, to be so very focused, never lose concentration, and be aware of each other.
Yeah,
as the fire walk.
You'll never go back to normal crew.
No.
Fire team all the way.
Fire team all the way. Yeah, such a responsibility.
Yeah. And they're probably watching now. Hi, fire team.
Yeah, right. And such a, you know, that feeling when you see somebody standing at the beginning of the fire with Tony Robbins' coaches, and overcome their fear and they take that first step.
Well, it's all about the first step, isn't it? It's like, you know, I remember when I did mine, it was like I stood at the front and it's like, okay, I've got to do this. I've got to do this. And you just have to just take that step and walk. Yeah. And, you know, and on the fire team, we're watching that. We're seeing that happen. We're hearing the commotion, but we have to stay very still and not be distracted. We have to know what's going on because we're looking after 2 lanes either side of us. We're putting the coals down when the floor's empty. So I mean, when we're called to put more coal on, you know, we don't make the decision. The trainers make the decision. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. Yeah, and the fact that the fire team is such a close-knit family, it's lovely.
Yeah, it is. It's the best service I've ever done. So you started off in the corporate world, and in the clubland world.
Yeah, so I worked for the local authority for 10 years now, or no, in the past. Yeah. And I worked in benefit fraud. Mm-hmm. So I was working as an intelligence officer. Mm-hmm. So we'd look, you know, we'd investigate people who are working and claiming and, you know, scamming the system. And then it got to a point where I just wasn't interested anymore. I just wanted to be creative. So at the weekend, I got a job as a photographer. So I worked in nightclubs as a club photographer, promoting a club. So if it was a really bad night, you know, I'd just make the night look really good. Everyone's like, oh, the club, you know. If it was empty, and it was a busy night because it's the art of the photos. So it allowed me to get creative.
Yeah.
But that's where, you know, the itch came from. It's like, okay, there's more to office work.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, just the calls that were coming into the council, it was just depressing.
Yeah.
People just phoning and wanting to report their neighbours, and it's like, oh my God. Yeah, it was very soul destroying, and I thought, this is not how I don't want to be a bum on a seat for another 10 years.
Yeah.
And then my whole life's wasted away. But at the time, you know, I had a love for crystals, so I was collecting crystals as well. I was going through my own dilemmas because I was going through a divorce at the time, a separation, and this was back in probably about 2000 and no, actually, sorry, I'm getting my dates wrong. So I got a little bit lost at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the thing is, I got into crystals at the top. This was all happening together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in 2013, I think I got a letter to say there was a restructure and I was going to be made redundant. So for me, it was kind of a little bit of a blessing. Yeah. But before all of this, I was going through my Reiki journey.
Yes.
So I was dabbing into all these different things, seeing, you know, what I enjoy. Let me follow them and see what happens. And then obviously I was made redundant, and then it was kind of like, for me, it was a blessing. It was like the universe had heard that I was not happy and I needed to follow what I wanted to do. So, you know, I had the photography served its purpose at the time. It allowed me to get out there and take photos. So, yeah, I used to call myself the hippie in heels at the time, because I used to have to wear a little black dress for taking the photos to blend in with the club. And then but on the other hand, I was a hippie, you know, going to Glastonbury, making drums.
I love that.
Into crystal.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, put me in a little black dress now. It doesn't happen quite quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a creature of comfort. So.
And then you got into crystals. You trained to teach Les Mills.
Yeah. So just before it all went, you know, like, I always was into fitness, and then I thought, okay, let me follow my dream of being into, you know, going into fitness. So I absolutely love body combat.
Yeah.
So it's like that's where I can vent. So body combat's like mixed martial arts. So, you know, you've got to have the calm with the storm, as I call it. So my body combat is my storm. So if I'm angry at someone, or if I've had a bad day, you know, it's shadow boxing to music. So it's mixed martial arts to music comes on, and you're like, oh, I'm ready to go. And then, you know, if I've had a dispute with someone, I can just imagine their face in front of my fist, and just punch, and then just feel good at the end of it. And, you know, so I decided to be an instructor for body combat. So so that's the way I can balance it out. And everyone's like, oh, but you're still crystals, you need to be calm. And I'm like, well, that's the other side. You need the balance.
Yeah, it's all about the balance.
Yeah. And and then I trained to do body pump. But with lockdown now, obviously the gyms are closed. So if there's no work coming in, we're going to be the last to open. So I'm not in a hurry. I'm not training online at the minute, and I feel like my body needs a break. So I'm taking this opportunity just to slow down, because I've been doing so much. Yeah. And it's given me the chance to kind of really wind down. And if I've put on weight over lockdown, you know, I can always, you know, it's muscle memory. We can always go back to it.
Yes.
Back into a routine. Right now, it's like comfort eat, you know.
Yeah.
I am, you know, walking the dog still. So I'm not like doing absolutely nothing. I do an odd workout, but I'm not putting the pressure on myself to, yes, I need to train. Yes, I need to do this, because as soon as I go back in the gym, it will drop off. I've got, because I was, you know, doing 4 or 5 classes a week to the intensity that I have to train at you know, it will come off. But this time is my time to just relax.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
And then your relationship with crystals.
Yes, that began when I broke up, when I kind of divorced. When I did divorce. So when I was younger, I used to buy a lot of crystals just to, just to carry, because they made me feel good. It was in my teens when I started buying more and more, and I got married, kind of forgot about them, forgot about who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, bear with me. Yeah, forgot about who I was, and and in the end, it was just like when the divorce happened, I was in this limbo, and it was like, okay, what now? And then that's when I started buying more and more and getting more and more into crystals. And then I think I went to a mind, body, and spirit event, and I was just having a walk around, and I was just buying crystals. Someone said to me, "Are you a healer?" I'm like, no. But people kept coming to me and saying, "Are you a healer?" I went to some spiritualists at the time. When you're lost, that's what we do. We just need to know what might happen. What's going to happen. Is things going to get better? And then in the end, a friend said to me, who did my reading, said, maybe you should look into doing it, because I'm getting a strong healing energy. I was like, okay. She suggested Reiki, so I went to do my Reiki 1, and then just to open me up spiritually. And that's where it all changed. And then after I was, so I went on to do my Reiki Masters. I think I did that in 2013. I did that one.
Right.
And then when I decided to turn it into a business, it was while I was redundant, didn't know what I was doing, and I started working part-time, doing some odd jobs. I did try and go back to corporate because I thought I needed the money. Well, I did need the money. I went back to mortgage fraud. Didn't enjoy it at all. It just was. It was like I was going back on my, my bliss. Because I didn't feel like it was the money that was keeping me in the corporate.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, let me try and simplify my life. So obviously cut down, my spending, what I needed. If I didn't need something, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
Because when you're on like a regular income and then you're just down to nothing, it's just like, it was really hard for me. So when I was redundant, obviously I came out of selling the cream. I was selling face creams.
Okay.
It all started when I was recruited to sell face creams on a market on a Sunday. It was a farmer's market in Holborn Rosewood Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, but I like selling, but I want to be able to sell something I love.
Yeah.
And then because I was helping another my friend's selling crystals on her store, I was like, oh, I'd like to do that. So I bought a small little selection of crystals and I put it on the table, amongst my display with all the creams. And then people started buying the crystals as well as the creams. And and my one customer bought a lot from me. I didn't have that much on the table. I probably spent a couple of £100 on a small selection, and he bought the whole lot. So what I started doing was, okay, the money I made, I bought more crystals. The money I made, I bought more crystals. And now I'm like down to a whole room.
Such a great selection of crystals.
Yeah. So then I decided that, crystals and fitness, it's two things I love.
Yeah.
Photography I don't do as much. If someone really asks me, and I'll go and do that. But the crystals, they make me happy. This doesn't feel like work, as you can see.
Right. So.
And then after that, like I've been doing, I do the festivals, hit the festival scenes with the crystals, and then my biggest show is Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
If anyone has been to Winter Wonderland, you would have seen this, the hippie of Hyde Park. That was like
massive, isn't it? Winter Wonderland. Like you have to be there like 12 hours a day.
Yeah, that goes on for 47 days of trade.
47 days of trade.
And that we have to be open from 9:30 till 10 p.m. So if you're on your own, toilet breaks are very difficult. So it's like the resilience you know, to get up and go. It's not like, okay, yeah, I've got a day off. Okay, that's my choice.
Yeah.
Because if I had staff, then fine. But then, you know, they could open it. But because, you know, my fitness was on hold, and then I just decided to focus on Winter Wonderland. And yeah, it's resilience to get up every morning at, you know, with lack of sleep.
Yeah.
After a long previous day, and to go back every day with no break, you know, like it's like, oh yeah, I've got Sunday to look forward to.
For
No,
like a month and a half, 7 days a
yeah,
week.
yeah. And the only day off I had was Christmas Day.
Wow.
Christmas Day.
Wow.
And I decided to stay in. I decided to stay in bed.
Yeah, good idea.
I didn't see no family, but you know, they understood.
Yeah.
And I had, you know, my Christmas dinner with my family after New Year, after we closed.
After it was closed. And I remember that on Fire Team, that resilience. Like I'm sure we did a 20-hour day on Fire Team.
Yeah, because we have to get it ready from first thing in the morning right till 1 a.m. the following day. So it's like you have to keep going.
Yeah.
As they say, as Bill says, embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck. Exactly.
Embrace the suck. And that was it. That's what got me through. What we learned in Fire Team gets me through Winter Wonderland, embracing the suck. And no matter how cold it was at Winter Wonderland, it was just like, okay, I've got to go.
Yeah.
You know, I have to go visit. Yeah. And then there it was, you have good customers, bad customers, you have people that don't understand crystals, but that's fair enough.
Yeah.
It's, you know, being able to keep my energy high.
Yes.
To deal with it without me getting, you know, stressed. Or, it's hard because selling crystals, it's not just, okay, for some people it's the way they look. Mm-hmm. For some people it's the way that it makes them feel. For some people it might be just a placebo kind of thing. Have it in my pocket, make me feel good.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, because I am a healer myself, so I do use them for healing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So which are your 5 favorite crystals?
5 in all of this? How can I pick 5?
I would say rose quartz.
Rose quartz, obviously. This is rose quartz here.
Which crystal do you carry with you all the time?
The one I carry mostly on me is moldavite, but that's more of a, and with moldavite it's the transformational crystal, and it was it's one of the first main ones that I bought. I bought it in error, not realizing, because I was, you know, actually wanting another crystal, but it came to me for a reason. And some people can't wear it because it is quite potent. Mm-hmm. It's a stone of rapid transformation, and I think, you know, because of that my life changed, and it changed, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah,
it came with the stresses, you know, for me transitioning from having money to no money.
Yes, having that reliable monthly income and being able to spend time like going out for dinner and buying clothes and to nothing. And then it became like, okay, let me go to the charity shop, or, you know, and see if I can find something there. Yeah.
You know, and that's what, you know, I had to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
I always have money to spend on crystals.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Because you want to live within your values, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And if I can share these gifts with people, and the beauty of, like, these are what our planet creates. Yeah. You know, Mother Nature creates this, and these are not man-made, and it's like, share it with the world, you know. And for some people, like when I went to Winter Wonderland, people were like, who makes them? Who makes them? It's like, Mother Earth makes them. Yeah. Do I make them? No. You know, but then if I could teach them something, they've learned something, even if it's just a small thing.
Yeah, obviously working in retail, I really relate to that.
Yeah.
Educational aspect of selling something which is not cheap, not mass produced, not made in a sweatshop. It's it's a completely different thing.
It is. And the thing is, and if I could teach people, you know, about crystals and how they work, and that's I'm sharing my message, aren't I? Because then, you know, yeah, they make me smile inside. I can't stop smiling every time I talk about the crystals.
Yeah, I love that. So the crystal that you just mentioned that I'm not familiar with, which is for rapid transformation, what's it called?
Moldavite. That one's an ET crystal. If you're starting with crystals, it's probably not the best crystal to start with, because it is, you know, get ready for change if you do want it. It's an ET crystal. So it was in the Czech Republic, a meteorite hit the earth, created this crystal. It's only in one place you can find it, and yeah.
That's interesting.
So they call it the ET crystal. No.
Oh, do they? What
Yeah.
colour is it?
It's a dark green. Do I have any here? I've got it somewhere. I can always post it after.
Yeah, post it after.
That's my go-to crystal.
Right.
If ever I'm feeling really down, and that's my go-to. But I can tell you quickly. I can tell you about, you know, how the crystals work if people don't understand.
Yes, please. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. So I need to give you just a little basic about, you know, our body and our, you know, the chakra system. So we've got our physical self, we have our emotional self, spiritual self, all in layers above us. So what happens when we get stressed? It pushes on our physical layers. The emotions build up and pushes on our physical. So depending on where it is in the body, each area is related to a color or a chakra. So we have 7 main chakras. There are more. So you have your base chakra, which is from your hips down. So it's all about grounding and foundations. That's the color red. So then you go to the red crystal, kind of the reddish crystals. If you need, or red, black, brown, they're the colors for the grounding. So anything grounding, that's the colors I would recommend. Then we work with the sacral, which is your sexual energy area, the balance of the masculine and feminine. That's orange. Then you have your solar plexus, creativity, confidence, all comes from the solar plexus.
Yeah.
Any of the yellow crystals I would recommend for that. Then you've got your heart, which is pink or green for the heart. Yes. So it's all about love, self-love, unconditional love. Then you have your throat, which is about standing in your power and speaking your truth, and that's the color blue. Then you have your third eye, which is indigo, purple, and then you have your crowns. Crowns is a mixed color, so it's whites, purples. So that's how I, you know, depending on where people are drawn to, I can normally kind of guess what's going on. If someone says to me, I've got a problem with, for example, thyroid. Yeah. So then I'd ask the questions about, you know, is there something you need to say that you're not saying? You're not speaking up. But when I do the healing, when I'm talking to people, I would say to them, when did it start and what was going on emotionally at the time? Then you can go to the root cause, bring it to your awareness. Yeah. And that will help you heal. Once you're aware of it, because everything's in our subconscious, you know, aches and pains, it's all in our subconscious. But once you bring it to your awareness, okay, something happened, this and this happened with my throat. There was something I couldn't say to someone, is an example. Yes. And it was at this time. So it's about going to that situation, forgiving what happened, letting go, and dealing with it. That's how Reiki works, really, because Reiki is all about healing hands, you know. But the thing is, before a healing, if I'm doing a healing session on someone, I use crystals as well, because I'm naturally drawn to them. I would start a session by saying, when you know, what's going on, when did it start? Because obviously we need to bring everything to the surface to allow it to heal. If we don't know what it is, how can we heal it? Yeah.
And it assumes that we have the knowledge within us.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, if you listen to the aches and pains in your body, what is it trying to tell you, depending on where it is in your body? You know, I've had customers that come to me, and, you know, I had one lady who bought a crystal for her friend who had throat cancer. So it was any of the blues. It's all about speaking your truth. And when I was asking the questions, it turned out that the cancer came back when she started working with vulnerable children. So she, because of confidentiality, she couldn't communicate and tell people what these children were going through.
Mm-hmm.
So she was holding it onto it in her throat, and it manifested as a cancer. And it's the same as other things. People, you know, conversations I've had with people, you know, if they've said breast cancer, for example, these are what customers have come to me. I'm not a doctor, but I would recommend, you know, crystals for support.
For support,
For support, and it brings it to their awareness, because, you know, we have the capacity to heal ourselves once we know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
What is the root cause? And the people who have, like, say, for example, the lady with breast cancer, it, you know, it manifested when, for example, her mum died. A significant other has died, because it means heavy heart.
And obviously that's quite a alternative view of holistic health.
Yeah, but it's being aware, like,
that people do embrace, and people do find it helpful to use Reiki and crystals to support their health.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's all about self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Being aware, like, if I've got aches and pains in my body, it's like, what is my body trying to tell me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't go to the doctor. I personally, you know, don't go to the doctors unless I need to. Mm-hmm. But normally, once I know what's going on with me, I know, you know, like if I've got like a dead ache in my shoulder, and then I'll be like, okay, so what's happened emotionally?
Mm-hmm.
And then once it brings it to my awareness, I can deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, because my body's trying to tell me something. If I'm abusing my body, or if I'm like, you know, if I'm on the go.
Yeah.
Like, say, for example, Winter Wonderland, I'm always on the go beforehand. Yeah. And then before Winter Wonderland, I get ill, because it says, Belle, you need to stop. You need to slow down. And, you know, and I speak to people like my friend who, you know, and she's probably going to be listening to this, she broke her leg, but it means for her to stop.
And don't you think in the lockdown, it's become, for those of us who aren't key workers, it's become so apparent how much we normally rush around, and how many demands we have upon our lives, how little time we spend resting, and how little time we normally give to ourselves, actually.
You know, it's so true, because, you know, I've been rushing with Winter Wonderland every day, full on, and then I went straight back into the fitness. And, you know, deep down, I'm like, you know, I need to stop. This has forced me to stop, but in a good way. And whenever people say, like, what have you been doing? I'm like, and I haven't been doing nothing. I haven't been doing nothing. I have actually took the opportunity to tidy this room. Yeah. You know, straight out of Winter Wonderland. Good. Yeah, straight out of Winter Wonderland, I had a show, so I had everything in crates. Then I, you know, packed for the next show, and it was a mess. And I literally took the opportunity to tidy everything, organize everything, and then, you know, add more shelving. So this room is ready. As soon as lockdown is over, this room is ready to bring people in. Like, if people want to come and have a browse, if, you know, to do healing. But also, I've bought a new photography kit, so I will be starting to take pictures. Nice. And then, because I've done no social media on the crystals either. I was like, you should be selling. Yeah, I could be selling, but I need a break.
Yeah.
I need a break. And I think
it will happen in its own time.
The crystals, you know, appreciate it when, you know, I need to make sure my energy is intact before I can help anyone else. And I always say that to people. It's just, if I can't heal myself, how am I meant to heal other people?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's why I've taken the opportunity to wind down. So, you know.
I ran off earlier. It's because I hadn't plugged my laptop in, and it flashed up low battery.
Yeah, I might have to plug my phone in, because, you know, my phone. Yeah, I might. Should I do that quickly?
Such a basic error on my part.
Well, mine didn't charge last night. I fell asleep and then it didn't charge, and I charged it this morning, and because obviously, you know, it's at 9% at the minute. Can I just go and grab mine and just put it in, won't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's locked down. Anything goes.
Sorry.
And it's nice to be able to see the crystals. Because that's the hematite I can see. And
Sorry?
the rose quartz. Can I see hematite under the rose quartz?
The hematite? No, that's smoky quartz.
Oh,
So rose quartz, yeah. So rose quartz, which one?
Underneath the rose quartz.
We have that angel. Rose quartz angel.
Oh, beautiful.
So rose quartz is for love, self-love, and unconditional love.
That's
it's all about
at the moment.
Sorry?
My favourite crystal at the moment.
Yeah. So, you know, if you're picking crystals, I would say, because normally when I have the crystals, I always have a card that gives a description about what the crystal does.
Mm-hmm.
If you're picking crystals, what I would say is go for what you're drawn to. Don't read up on a crystal and go and buy, because people come with lists and say, okay, I want this and this because I've read it's really good.
Yeah.
Your head, this is where your head's doing the talking.
Yeah.
Your ego is saying you need this. If that's the case, you need everything. You know, but what I say to people, and because, you know, this is like the challenges that I face. They're not really challenges, but for example, I get people, okay, so looking at me, what would you recommend for me? And I'll be like, but if I was, you know, I could sell you everything right now. And that's not how I work. And I will say to people is go for what you're drawn to, because what you're drawn to is what you need right now.
Yeah.
Because it changes every time. There might be a crystal that, you know, I might be drawn to. At the moment, I'm drawn to another crystal. I don't have it in stock. I'm waiting for it to come. It's like a really dark pink rhodonite, but it's just the color is just vibrant, and it's what I need right now.
Yeah.
It changes from time to time. You know, it might be you might want some of the greens. You might want some of the browns, like the fossilized wood.
Yeah.
Each crystal does, like, there's crystals for everything. So I've got crystals, you know, for creativity, finishing projects. If you want something to finish projects, pyrite is a really good one.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like the gold, fool's gold.
Yeah.
Everyone's heard of fool's gold.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's good if you put it on your desk to help you finish projects. But it's also good for manifestation, creativity.
Nice.
Then we have, you know, what else do we have? We have ammonites, for example. Ammonite.
I love
and that's all about, so that's all about introspection.
Nice.
Sacred geometry going within. Everything, you know, all crystals have a meaning.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants any information on them, I'm happy to, you know, do a live video. If anyone wants to have a closer look on the crystals, I'm happy to do that. People want things specific or a little bit of advice, then I can do that.
And how can people find you?
Well, I'm on Facebook. My website is not live yet because I'm trying to find the right fit to do the website. Yeah. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So on Instagram, it's Rebel Crystals, all one word. And then on Facebook, it's Rebel Crystals, so RE''BEL Crystals. The reason I went for the name was because it's a little bit of a play on words, and because my name's Belle for short, it's kind of like, I didn't want Rebel Crystals because it was more of like it was too rebellious at the time, and then I thought, okay, let me just, you know, make it a little bit more feminine and then rebel. Yeah, but someone asked, it's Rebel Crystals. It's all the Rebel Crystals all the way. So I have the best of both. I can balance the masculine and feminine. Yeah,
nice. I love it. I love your studio. It feels amazing in there.
Claire, next time you come, we're going to sleep in here. We'll sleep in the little heater in here. We can bring in the sleeping bags, the pillows, the duvet, and I think this room will be buzzing by morning.
Yeah, we'll be new. We'll be.
Yeah. Do you want me to take you on a whiz round the?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Let me take you off. I'm still attached to the charger, so I'm going to flip my video around. Okay, can you see?
Beautiful, yeah.
I'll just take it off the charge so I can walk around.
agate crystal caves are quite amazing.
Well, these ones, my heater's in the way. So they're the big geodes.
They're incredible.
Let me see if I can flip it round because you can see a bit of. Is that better? Can you see?
Yeah.
So we have the big pieces.
Beautiful.
This one's my favourite at the moment.
Beautiful. Wow.
And that's a golden healer.
That's amazing. And what are the ones on the middle shelf, the sort of turquoise coloured ones?
These ones.
Yeah.
So we have kyanite, which is about, again, that's one's about cutting cords. But that's very much a heart opener as well. Then you have celestite, which is communication, and communicating with the angelic realm as well. And then we have Larimar, which is the dolphin crystal, the stone of Atlantis. Then we have our septaria. They call that the dragon's head. Again, works with the solar plexus. So all of the crystals are organized in color. So the color of the chakra. So then that one's the throat. That one's the sacral chakra, the solar plexus. These go on to the grounding crystals. At the moment, if the crystals that are quite popular is shungite. So if you're sensitive to EMF and the 5G, shungite is the crystal that people would recommend. And then going on, I've got dream catchers.
They're nice.
Yeah, I have got more in stock that have just come in. They come. My dream catchers come from Sweden, and they're all handmade. So I will be putting some out once I go through the box. So then we've got our amethyst and spirit quartz, all different shapes and sizes. We have a pink amethyst. They're all different, all unique. So people are drawn to different colours, different shapes, different carvings. Then we have the smokies. So this is the grounding and protection. Labradorite, stone of magic. I'm just moving. So we have our quartzes.
Wow.
And then we have our moonstones, selenite.
So what's this thing in the middle of this shelf?
This one.
Yeah.
So we call that the Shiva Eye shell. So it's made up of a series of shells called the Shiva Eye.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's from Madagascar. So if I know the location of where they're from, then I will say, because then we've got crystals from all over the world. So we've got crystals from Brazil, Madagascar, Mexico. Then we have the greens, which is the heart. All of that is the green. So we have ocean jasper. Then we have our fossil woods.
Wow.
So this is part of the monkey. This is a monkey puzzle tree.
Wow.
Which is thousands and thousands of years old, all fossilized.
Wow.
Yeah. And then all the reds, this is all the grounding. And then we have carvings. So if you like carvings.
Beautiful.
And then we have a pair of angel wings. We've got the angel wings. Is someone wanting to?
Yeah. Delivery guy, no doubt. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so there's crystals all over.
Love it.
There's some of them are so small. It depends, depends what people want. Yeah. People want to decorate their homes with them. Some people, you could decorate your home, put it by your bed. You could meditate with them. You could carry them on you. Women tend to put them in their bras. Sorry, men.
I heard you say that the other day when we were on a fire team call. Yeah, I keep a crystal in my bra.
Yeah, but the thing is, sometimes you don't want to keep it in your pocket, put it in your bra,
Nice.
you know, and then you got to be careful when you take your bra off, you don't hit someone in the face. I've done that. I have done that in the past. You know, I've quickly undressed at the gym and I've lost my crystal because it's like trying to rush to get to a class.
Brilliant.
But, you know, if you do have crystals and you're new to crystals, like, you know, you can cleanse your crystals by, you know, put them in the full moon. It's a full moon today.
Yes.
You can put them in the full moon to cleanse, in sunshine. Running water's really good for some crystals. You can use white sage is another really good Palo Santo incense or sound healing.
And you sell Palo Santo as well?
I've got Palo Santo and I have incense, temple grade incense, which is lush.
Lovely.
You know, so when I burn that, I would burn that at Winter Wonderland, and people would come over to the stall and smell the stones. They'd be like, does this smell? And they'd think it's soap, but it wasn't. It was the incense, because the smell of food, and it's like the burgers and the sausages and all of that stuff. It was like, burn the incense.
Yeah.
So I've got Palo Santo and I have white sage. I also have singing bowls. So
The crystal bowls. They're
crystal
incredible.
bowls. Let me see if I can you see those?
Beautiful, yeah.
So there's one for each chakra of the bowls.
I can't wait to have a go on them once we're allowed out.
Yeah. I know we tried to play, didn't we, on the phone, and it didn't really sound good.
No, the microphone isn't good enough. I think you need like a really special system.
It needs to be mucked out, you know, with the windshield on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Belle.
Oh, you're welcome, darling. It's nice to bring people to my cave.
Lovely. I'm sorry that my door rang, that I had to plug my charger in. I'm really trying to learn as I go along here.
Oh, don't worry.
And we will post a link so that people can find you and buy crystals and incense and...
Yeah, they can just, you know, people can message me if they want to, or just even if it's just the chat, you know, just for a bit of you know, advice, then I'm quite happy to, you know, to speak to people.
Yeah.
Did anyone want to ask anything?
No, people have just said hello.
Hello, everyone.
But if anyone does want to ask anything, then Belle will answer. If you just write comments, then Belle will reply in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Belle.
Oh, you're welcome, darling. It's been a pleasure. You know, this was my first live.
Yeah, well done.
My first. I know. If I've waffled on, I'm really sorry.
Brilliant. No, it's been lovely. It's been lovely to hear about your passion and about how you escaped from the corporate world, because I think there might be a lot of people around at the moment who are thinking, well, I'm not sure if my job's going to be there when I go back. Can I risk doing my passion?
What I would say is, if you could keep the job, you know, so it brings the money in, but do something, you know, that makes your heart sing. So it's basically like,
so comes across with you. It so comes across.
The thing is, okay, that's how I started. It's okay, can I make money from it? I don't like that was the last thing actually, but it's like, do something you enjoy so it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
You know, during this time, you know, for me with the crystals, it was like, okay, it's time, you know, when I burst out into the world with the crystals, it's been probably about 4 years now. It hasn't been easy, and it's not going to be easy. But then do it on the side. Do something that makes you passionate on the side. Yeah. And then the more you build, because then you have the money from your job or, you know, the corporate whatever, to feed into that, to make it grow. You know, if you just leave your job and follow your bliss, it might be a little bit difficult that you end up, you know, it's like you're stepping out of your comfort zone, but you tend to go back to what, you know. I did that. I made that mistake when I left the corporate world. I went back into mortgages, and it was really depressing. But going back, allowed me to make money to buy more crystals.
Yeah.
For me to kickstart, okay, crystals is the way I want to go.
Yeah.
And you know, it helped, and it got, you know, I still to this day have ups and downs. I rely on my fitness to pay my bills. And then when I do like a big show, then it's beneficial, then I can buy more stock. And I, you know, with the crystals, I do travel abroad, so I do go buying abroad, so it's given me that opportunity. You know, so I do buy direct from suppliers, and it's been such, like, this year has been such an amazing experience. Not this year, last year, before the lockdown. You know, where I travelled abroad, you know, hand picking everything I buy, and that's the way I want it. You know, that's the way I want it to continue. And
lovely.
Next year, I know some of the shows have been cancelled, but next year I want to go to one of the biggest mineral shows. So so fingers crossed.
So lovely talking to you, Belle. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're welcome, Claire. I did say, oh yeah, what am I going to talk about for?
What if I don't know what to talk about, Claire?
What am I going to talk about? You know, and then we're almost an hour in. I'm so sorry.
It's brilliant. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, darling.
Have a great day in the sunshine.
Yeah, you too. You too, darling. I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Love ya. Bye.